Hello everybody and welcome to Dr. Mandy. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to put in your hearing aid. And there's a couple different ways, and this is from a user perspective. And I'm not Dr. Mandy, obviously, but I am a user of Dr. Mandy's products. And so I wanted to give kind of a perspective of what it's like for a user to use hearing aid and how to put it in properly. And this is what I do, and I know there's a couple different methods, but hopefully you'll find this video helpful if you're having trouble with your hearing aids. Some common things I've come across with mine. So as you can see, I've got an image next to me here, and this is the hearing aid that I wear every day, and it's a Starkey 3 Series hearing aid. Now there's two types of hearing aids. There's the in-the-ear hearing aid, and then there's the behind-the-ear hearing aid, and this one is the behind the hearing aid that is very common. So my hearing aid is not sophisticated like some of the advanced stuff that comes out. And part of that is I don't need that with the degree of hearing loss that I have. So with the degree of hearing loss that I have, I'm very happy with this model, and I've worn it for a couple years, and it's not given me any trouble at all. This hearing aid does have this typical traditional little battery that goes in there, and I prefer the battery personally just because I forget to wirelessly charge things, etc. It doesn't bother me to carry around the extra hearing aid battery. So when putting in this style of hearing aid, this one that goes behind the ear, the first thing you want to do is make sure you have a good battery in there. So if you're not sure, you can always replace the battery or use the one that you have. So make sure your battery is actually inside the hearing aid, and you want to close the mechanism and make sure it's shut all the way. I found a couple times if my hearing aid's not working, I know I have a good battery, I just haven't closed the little compartment tight enough where it'll make the contact and amplify the hearing. Because when I put this one in, I hear a do come on, and that's how I know that my hearing aid's working properly. I like this one, I don't have a lot of feedback, so when I go to put it in my ear, I don't have a lot of feedback. Now, two ways you can put this in your ear. Some people will start this just behind the ear to start, like this. They'll start it behind, and then they'll take the dome. The dome is the piece that actually goes in your ear canal, and they will put it in. They'll squeeze the dome in, and then I call it a guide. It's also called an anchor. This is an extra little piece that actually sits right inside your ear, and that helps hold that hearing aid in place. So when you have it in, it doesn't want to come out, or it doesn't fit uncomfortably. You'll know if it's not fitting properly. First of all, you would have gotten it fitted properly because you went and saw Dr. Mandy. But second of all, if you got that, you took it home, you're like, oh, it's just not fitting right, check that anchor and make sure it's sitting right inside that ear cartilage right there, and it's sitting there properly. Now I can tell that my hearing aid is working properly now because with my degree of hearing loss, when I put in a hearing aid, it's like a speaker comes on, that like a car speaker goes out, and like all of a sudden it's working again. That's how I hear it. I also have two. I love the simplicity of this one because I just have a volume that goes up and down. That's it, and it's like 2 or 3 levels. That's it. For me, I crank her all the way down. I'll hear it beeping in there, and then that's what I prefer. I can tell that if my volume's too high, it'll kind of make my brain crazy. It kind of makes me like, it's irritating to me, and I'll notice it, and then I'll usually crank it down. I never, for me, have my level on the highest, but I know that it's there if I need it. And where I live by water. I live on water, and when I'm down at the beach and whatnot, I need to turn my hearing aid down, and sometimes it's too much for my brain to take in, and I just won't wear the hearing aid at all at that point, which can make conversation difficult. But on the flip side, just that constant amplifying that happens, sometimes my brain just doesn't want to process it very well. So that's how I know mine's good to go. So right now it's comfortable. The anchor's in there properly, the dome's in there properly. It's not wanting to come out like when I make facial expressions or anything like that. And it's sitting comfortably right behind my ear. The second way you can put it in is once you know that battery's in, I usually do it this way. It's my preference. I will actually put the dome in first, and then I'll wrap it around the back of my ear, and that's how I put in my hearing. And then I just check to make sure that the anchor is sitting in my ear and it's in. So That's just a couple different ways to put in the behind the ear hearing aids. I don't mind the behind the ear hearing aids. I've yet to try the canal hearing aid, but for me, this works. Again, if you're having trouble with it, double check that you have a good battery. If you're not getting it to come on, double check that that little compartment is closed. And you get on. The other thing that can happen is that little dome that goes in your ear canal. Sometimes you can get wax in there. And Dr. Mandy has little tools to be able to help you get that wax out. And that's happened to me a couple times. And I take it out and like a boom, my hearing aid works again. More times than not, your hearing aid is going to work properly. If it's not working properly, those are going to be the most common ways to troubleshoot it. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope that you go and see Dr. Mandy, or if you have any needs that she can help you with. She now has 2 locations. She is in Madison and, of course, in Sioux Falls. She is available anytime. You can go to her website, drmandysf.com, or you can give her a call at 605-306-3050. Have a great day.